Oh my goodness. I am so sorry, you guys. I'm pulling up comments. I am so sorry. That's the third time. No, that's the second time that I've had to do that. So I'm back. Not going to call me again. I don't think he can't call past 9:30 and it's 9 o'clock here right now. So I think I'm good. Not that he's like bothering me or anything. He's totally not. But you know how it is. It's like unexpected sometimes. You don't know when they're going to call. And that's how I am. And so I just answer it usually wherever I'm at. I'm lucky with my job. I can actually like I have my own office and stuff. So I can like be in my office and I can like have my phone there. If he calls, I can, pick up, I can talk to him. I can walk outside if I need to. So it makes it a little bit easier. But I remember when I actually worked in call centers and he would call me, I would have to answer, I would be on the call with the customer and I'd answer the call. And then I would like try and get the customer off the phone as fast as I could. And then I would like run to the break room with my phone so I could like talk to my husband. It was crazy. But the things that we do, right? Hey Nick, what are you doing? I literally like every time Kevin called, I had to like disconnect this and then like reconnect it. I still haven't eaten anything today. Like at 2 o'clock, I said, I should really eat something. My stomach is growling, and I still have not eaten anything, and it's 9 o'clock at night. I really talk with my hands a lot. It's fun. It's fun. And visiting, Kevin always makes fun of me because my hand gestures, unless I'm like clasping my hands like this, like so I'm not moving them, like my hands are all over the place and I'll be like describing stuff and like, doing weird stuff. And he'll sit there and like be like, can you do that again? Like, and be serious and be like, what? Be like, do that again or say that again. And I'll be like, no, you're making fun of me. Hey, Charlotte, I work for a call center and would do the same thing. Yes. Oh my God, dude. Swear to God. I worked for Comcast since I've been with him. I worked for a software company. It was like a small call center. And I worked for Amazon since I've been with him as well. I don't work for call centers anymore. But with Amazon especially, I remember like answering the call, trying to get the customer off the phone, and then like racing out to the break room. Just so like I didn't miss his calls. Yeah, I thought, see, I hadn't done a video in like a month. And the first time that I ever mentioned the new support group that we have is today when I made the video. And I think there were like 3 or 4 people that already subscribed or that joined the support group because I mentioned it on YouTube. Because there's quite a few subscribers now. I think there's like almost 1,200, which is really cool. So I thought also that like going live and streaming live, it'll have like more women joining and viewing, and maybe some of those women don't have support groups. They don't know that support groups are out there, and that we can get more women to join our group. That would be amazing. Working for Amazon was crazy. So I actually worked for the call center as a customer service representative, and I did sales for like one of their sister companies that sells like high-end women's clothing, which I really liked that aspect of it. But as far as like the customer service Amazon side, I was just like, it was kind of like iffy. And then I also worked at their warehouse when I lived in Tennessee. And so I did like I guess it's considered labor because you're in a warehouse, but it's not that bad. Like you're pretty much like I was a picker. I would pick items that would be like on my list or whatever, and that would be like one order, and then I would like get shipped out and pick more items and then get shipped out. And it was the easiest job, but at the time I hadn't had surgery on my neck, which is why that's there. And so I couldn't, like, I was having a lot of problems with my neck and my back from walking, like, just for hours and hours during the day. But now, like, I would love to, like, I mean, obviously I'm a counselor now, so I love doing that. But I think it was fun, like, working for Amazon in the warehouse. And we actually have a warehouse here in Washington. I think they pay like $15 an hour, so it's not bad. Um, I know like a lot of states' minimum wage is like $7, $8 an hour, but Seattle's minimum wage is actually $15 an hour now. So I guess it's like considered minimum wage, but it's not a bad job. Like it's honestly a pretty decent job. And if you get hired on through temp agency, then eventually you're hired on permanently. I'm pretty sure like the wages go up from there. But the call center, you made less than working in the warehouse. Interestingly enough. Oh my goodness, guys. So yeah, I haven't eaten anything today. I think, when you're so hungry and then you kind of like surpass that point of hunger and then like you just don't even feel like eating anything after that. Like I've gotten past that stage, I think. I should have done a YouTube video talking about streaming live so more people would know that I'm live. But I did not do that. That's okay though. If you guys join the support group, I go live pretty much every single day. I try to go live every day or almost every day. It's usually in the mornings when I'm getting ready for work, I'll go live. And then sometimes at night I'll go live, or if I always go live when I'm in the car if I'm driving somewhere. And I just like doing it just to, check up with everybody and like see how everybody's doing and see what everybody's up to and all that good stuff. Can you guys hear me at all? I don't see any comments, so I don't know if you guys are commenting. I'm just not seeing them or. I'm testing this out to see if anybody can hear me. Hello, hello, hello. Sorry, I'm looking at. Okay, cool. Hey, Rachel, how's it going? So, Rachel, hey, Michelle, you're in the support group, right? Let me know, you guys, if you guys are already members in our support group. Or if you're not, then we can give you information on how to join if you're interested in joining a support group. It's a smaller group, so if you're somebody that likes a really extremely large groups, probably isn't for you because it hasn't grown yet because it's really new. But I figured you were Rachel. Okay, cool. All you guys are. Sweet. You can hear me. Yeah, no, I just want to make sure that like anybody that's watching this live stream that isn't involved in a support group understands that they're out there, like whether it's our group or it's a different group, that's totally fine. I just want to make sure that, people have that support because when I first got with my husband, I did not know about Facebook support groups. I don't even know if they had prison wife support groups. I think they were just starting to have prison wife support groups like 4 years ago. I don't think they've really been around for a long time because the groups that they had 4 years ago, like they don't have now, like those groups are no longer there anymore. And it's just a bunch of brand new group, like not brand new, but like groups that are a couple years old. But they had a forum, which is still on there, and I go on there still every once in a while. It's called Prison Talk Online. I don't know if any of you guys have ever heard of it, but it's like an old school forum where you go on there and it's got different topics and it has all the different prisons. It's got state, federal. It has like people asking questions on like different threads and stuff like that. And it's not like Facebook where you get an instant response like in a Facebook group. It's it's a forum, so somebody might not respond to you for like a day or 3 days. But it's really cool because if you have specific questions, you can ask them in that like create your own thread. You can ask them in that forum though, and like people will respond, and you have to create an account and stuff like that. But it's pretty cool. Hey Sage, how are you doing? Sorry, I was looking at your picture. You're on YouTube, like the profile picture that you have on there. It looks like a mohawk. I don't know if it's a mohawk, like your husband's mohawk or whatever, but I was like, oh, it's kind of cool. And he looks like my friend Jean that I went to high school with. How is your Saturday night going? I'm sporting, even though I'm not a big football fan, I'm sporting my Seahawks gear. Fun, fun. And I totally don't match. I'm wearing a headband. And my wall is completely bare except for this old collage of me and my husband. It's crazy. Like, I don't know if you guys can see, he's holding a puppy in this picture. These pictures are so old though. Like this picture is from, I think right after we got married. I don't even know if you guys can see it. And I don't want to take it down because it's too hard to put back up. But I've lost like 50 pounds since like all of these pictures have been taken. It's pretty crazy. Super crazy. When I look at our wedding pictures, I was 215 pounds and now I'm 165, 166. And it's just, I look totally different. To me, I look totally different than when we first got married. But I figure, and I've done a video on this too, like while my husband's in prison, I figure like I take that time to use it for things that are gonna like benefit me, like positive things, you know, and things that are gonna help us when he gets out. Like whether like what I did is I filed bankruptcy because I had owed so much debt from years and years of like medical bills and stuff. So I filed bankruptcy in August. I've been his power attorney for years, but I added him to my credit card that I got. So because he has no credit because he went in at 19. So now his credit score is it's higher than mine. It's like almost 700. It's like 680 or something like that. It's crazy. But I didn't know you could do that, but you could totally do that. You can add them to your credit card and it every time you make your payment on time, it positively impacts their credit. So his credit's gone from zero, like it was nothing, to like 680. It's so crazy. So I filed for bankruptcy. Um, I just started doing things that were going to be positive for us. Hey, Christy. Weight thing was like a big thing for me. I got to the point where like I was literally taking safety pins to hold the zipper up on my jeans because I'd gained so much weight and I was just eating super unhealthy, like not exercising at all. And I was just, and this is when we got married and about a year after we got married. And then I just got to the point where I was like, okay, like I need to do something about it. So I started calorie counting and working out on I have a stationary bike. And so I started doing that. And what else have I done? It's been positive. Like, oh, I went back to school. I went back to school because I was working call center jobs and I was like, okay, I need a job because I was struggling. I was going paycheck to paycheck. I need a job that I can actually like support myself off of, like not have to ask my dad for money, not have to ask my mom for money. You know what I mean? So that was like a big deal too, for sure. But yeah, I think it's really important to be able to do that. Like, you know, however much time, if they have 2 years, if they have 10 years, if they have life sentence, just be able to create a list of positive things that you can work on, you know, while they're incarcerated. But definitely do things that are going to help you out. Like even if it's saving money, and like I have a savings now. I never had a savings before. It's super crazy to me, but it's cool. Um, and I never thought I was going to go back to school, to college. And now I have like a year and a half left, about a year and a half, or close to, yeah, about a year and a half until I get my bachelor's degree. So that's all stuff that I never imagined that I would do. But I'm glad that I did it. And Kevin actually like really helped me decide to go back to school because I wasn't going to. I was like, counselors don't make any money. Like, I don't want to do it. Like, I'm gonna end up owing money and it's not gonna help me out at all. And he's like, no, he's like, you have to do like what you're passionate about doing. Like, no matter if you're making money doing it or not, he's like, you know, this is your life. Like, you don't want to work a job that like you don't want to do. Like, you want to be doing something that you believe in, right? So he really helped me, honestly. Um, decide to go back to school and like work in the career that I'm working in now. So I definitely give him props for that. Like, I swear to God, for a man that's been in prison for 15 years, he's the most positive person, one of the most positive people, because I've met a couple of them. One of the most positive people that I've ever met that's been incarcerated for a long time. Like, even when I talked to him earlier, like on the phone, he's just like all chippery and everything. I'm just like, what is wrong with you? And he was telling me when I answered the phone that he had a dream that, Kevin never dreams. Like, I am usually the one that like has these really vivid dreams, and like I always remember my dreams every night. He never remembers his. Um, and I always tease him because I'm like, you never like dream about me. Like, that's messed up. But he said he had a dream that I was like 9 months pregnant. I was super pregnant, and he said he was out, and he said that we were living in Tacoma, which is like 30 minutes from here, and he knew the exact house that we were living in, which is crazy. And he said that it was wintertime and there was like a snowstorm outside, and he said that like it was super detailed. And he said that like I was laying down on the ground like inside the house, and he said he was like kissing my belly, like kissing my pregnant belly. It's cute, right? It's cute. But yeah, he's just, I don't know. He's like, and then they did count. He's like, this morning, and that's when I woke up. He's like, that's probably why I remember the dream, was because I was dreaming right up until like they woke me up this morning. I feel like I'm talking to myself. Nobody's talking. And there's 8 people watching. So do you guys have any questions about anything? Or did you want to chat about anything specific? Like, I know it's different doing a live stream. Hey, Anonymous. I know. I told him that like Kevin's not like, I've had premonitions before, and he's not like a real believer in premonitions. But I don't know. I think when there's really detailed dreams like that he had, I think that they could possibly be premonitions. I've had court dreams about, him being in court and getting resentenced. I had one where the judge gave him 222 months. Like, it was just weird. It was 222 months, and it comes out to like 16 years. No, what is it? Let me hold on. I need my calculator. 222 months divided by 12. It's 18 and a half years, but then they add his good time, which I think is 3 years. So 70, 16. So it was like 15 and a half years. So we're like, by the time like you get resentenced, he would have served that 15 and a half years. But I had that dream 2 different times. And then I had another like dream where we were in a hotel room, and all of a sudden there were like these judges in there sitting at a table, and they were voting on whether he was going to get resentenced or not. And they decided to like release him on his own recognizance. And all of a sudden it was like balloons started dropping from the ceiling like it was New Year's and stuff. It was kind of funny. Well, have fun at work, Michelle. I always forget you work nights until I'm doing a live, and then you come on and tell me. You're either going to work when I talk to you usually, or you're getting off work and I talk to you. Shannon, what's up, my dear? I was gonna message you earlier because I watched your YouTube video earlier, and I saw you posted something about like having a couple drinks or something, and I was like, oh my God, I gotta talk to her because I'm gonna be there next month, like the end of the month I'll be there. And I was like, I'm gonna tell her like that I will drive to her so we can meet up and hang out. Yeah, I have super weird dreams, Charlotte. I have dreams that Kevin calls them stories because they're so like so detailed and so vivid. But yeah, we definitely are gonna meet up when I go. Hopefully you're not gonna be working. I'll be there like over the weekend. I don't fly back until Monday night. So like I'll have Saturday night to hang out, I'll have Sunday night to hang out and afternoon. Oh, nice. So you have tomorrow off. Tomorrow's Sunday. That's crazy. Like the weekends fly by for me so quickly. We have our first contact visit next Monday. I'm freaking out. Since I live so far away, it's a special visit, which means we'll be the only ones in the room. What? That's crazy, Rachel. I've never heard of anything like that before. So we have special visits in Washington for people that come from, I think it's like 300 miles away or something like that. But what it is like normally they get to visit either on a Saturday or a Sunday, and it switches every week. But if it's a special visit, they allow them to like Friday, which is a normal day, Saturday, Sunday, and Monday. So they get 4 days in a row. Normally you can visit up to 3 days on the weekend. It'll be like Friday, Monday, and then like a Saturday or Sunday. That's crazy though that you guys are going to be the only ones in the room. Like, too bad the CO's there, or you guys would be able to, do something. I drink melted candle wax like it's hot cocoa. I be popping tea lights left and right, like they're Oreos or something. I'm gonna be the next big thing on my strange addiction. Wow, that's awesome. Those are some amazing talents that you have right there. You don't know how to stop? I don't know, maybe take some sleeping pills or just one sleeping pill and go to sleep and you won't do that. Melted candle wax isn't going to be good for you. I'm certain. I feel like it would cling on like to your insides like wax does. And it would be hot. That's the thing. Are you drinking it like when it's hot or when it's already like melted and like formed? Bye, Felicia. I wonder where Felicia is at, by the way. It's pretty crazy. Where are you from, Circus? And why don't you just drink hot chocolate or drink chocolate? 2 days, but they have to be during the week. He's been on no contact since he's been in. How long have you guys been together, Rachel? Melatonin? Yeah, you might want to call the TV station, the channel that does My Strange Addiction. What is that like? It's not TLC. What channel is it that does that? Like A&E or something like that? I don't know. I never watched that show. I've seen it a couple times. It's interesting. That's for sure. Hi, Robbie. He needs melatonin. He needs something to calm him down. I mean, why wouldn't you just drink chocolate? It seems like a little bit too much work. I bet they did block your number. I mean, you're obviously not going to be on the show if they blocked your number. Oh my gosh. I'm sorry. Let me remove him. Putting you in timeout, buddy. I didn't know that you could put people in timeout. It actually says put in timeout. That's funny. No, I made him leave, Christy. It says put member in timeout, like when I clicked on his name. How much money are the inmates allowed to have in? So somebody just commented on one of my videos. I don't know if they're in here as well, but it depends on the prison. If state and federal are totally different, state to state is different as well. Any of like the women in here could tell you probably a different answer. I know in Washington State, it's $75. You can have on one card, and it looks like a debit card. And each person that goes in, like say you have two visitors that go in with you, each person could bring in a card with them. I used to sneak Like, they never said anything about it. Like, I'd not even sneak it. I'd hold 2 cards back to back, like, together when I went through the metal detector, and, like, they never said anything to me. But I'd never put $75 on at once, or we'd never spend that much. We usually spent, like, $40 when I visited for on the weekends for, like, I think it's 7 or 8 no, it's, like, 8 hours. And then when I went on a Monday or a Friday after work, I would spend, like, $10 just to get him dinner, and I would never eat anything. Yeah. $50? Yeah, see, that's not bad. That's totally doable. I honestly, like, don't think that I mean, you go broke if you really spent more than $50, a visit if you're visiting every week. We had to budget, like, when I moved closer to where Kevin was at because I was started visiting 3 days a week, and I was used to putting $40 on the card every time that I went to see him, and then after, like, a couple weeks, I was like, "I can't do this anymore, like, we need to figure this out." So we started spending $20 on Saturday or Sunday because they have a lot of, like, dollar pretty much, like, $1.50, $2 items, like burritos and pizza and stuff like that, and soda and chips and all of that. We called them, like, the dollar menus, and, so we'd order cheap stuff, and then on the days I got Mondays and Fridays after I got off work, I would get him, like, a really good dinner, like, the really good pizzas or the really good sub sandwiches, and I never ate anything, and we did that. We just budgeted. But I am all about budgeting. 25 in Ohio. Yeah, I heard in the feds in Florida, it's only $20 that you can take in too. Which it's I guess that's not that bad depending on, like, how long your visit's gonna be. Really, Shannon? I guess Kevin could eat that much. I think we've spent, like, over $40 before, but it's not like an every time thing. Oh, I did not know that you're in Tacoma. Oh, you probably don't wanna say what facility he's at, but my husband's at Stafford Creek, so he's in Aberdeen. But I think he's gonna try and transfer to Monroe because I'm in Seattle, so it's just way closer instead of having to drive 2.5 hours. He spends 60 to $70, so about 120 a weekend. Oh my goodness. Aquarius, do you go every single weekend? That's funny, Shannon. Right? They do live for it. Like Kevin lives for his Mountain Dews. Like he's Like, sometimes he'll have regular Mountain Dews and sometimes he'll have the red Mountain Dew, but yeah, Mountain Dew's like his drink. And then, like, the end of the visit, I always get him coffee because it's like a long visit. And then they have these pizza things there. They look like bagels. They're like these round things, and it's full of like it's like a pizza, like a pepperoni pizza on the inside. And it's seasoned too. That was like the best thing that they had going on in the visiting room was the pizzas, and they were kind of expensive though. They were like $4 I want to say like 4 or $5. And then they had these Italian subs, and those were like his favorite too. They were super good. Um, I never ate that much because it always make me tired, and I didn't want to like be passing out at the table. But yeah, so the subs, the pizzas, and they had what else did they had? They had something else that was super good too. They had Chinese, like the frozen Chinese things you could buy and microwave. They'd have like sweet and sour chicken, pork fried rice. They'd have all sorts of stuff going on. Burgers and wings. Kevin, like he used to, like the first couple of years we were together, like I'd always get him like bacon burgers and jalapeno burgers and stuff like that. And then I think he just got burnt out on it because every weekend I was coming to visit. And then he like kind of switched from that to the pizzas and then switched from that to something else. And then they do have an ice cream machine where we're at too. So they have, the big ice creams where it's like a one big cookie on like both ends, and then it's like the big ice, like vanilla ice cream in the middle, like no, it was a chocolate chip cookie on each side, and then it's the vanilla in the middle. So it's like the cookie ice cream sandwich. We would get those like a lot. That's probably what caused me to gain weight. Oh my God. And don't even start me on the candy, Shannon. Like they have this massive bag of sweethearts Like, I swear to God, it's like a full bag of sweet tarts. And I would get that at the beginning of every visit. And we would crush that thing by the end of visit. Like, my taste buds would be like burnt off from eating sweet tarts all the freaking time. Bacon double cheeseburgers, yeah. The jalapeno burgers. See, Kevin used to love those jalapeno burgers. Do you like eating aloo paratha? I have no idea what that is, Robbie. What is that? Sour cherry. I know. I ate way too much bad stuff when I was there. But like the last couple years, I actually did started doing really good because I was calorie counting and like losing weight and stuff. So I would get like always get water. And it was a weird, I don't know if the facilities where you guys are at, they do it, but where Kevin's at, they switched from bottled water to smart water and they look like little milk cartons. So weird looking. But it says like smart water on, or no, is it smart water? I don't know what it was called. No, it wasn't smart water, or something else. Maybe it was smart water. But anyways, it looks like a little mini milk carton, but it's actually water. California, yeah, I've heard, and it's a different too for like family visits. I heard that in California, you actually order the food from like a menu, like that you want when you're having a family visit. But in Washington, you bring in like your food. Like they have to check everything when you go through security. And I haven't done it, but you actually bring in all of the food that you want to like use to cook and, the 2 days that you're there, 24, 48 hours that you're there. That's funny. It does sound like it's Indian or something. All right. I will talk to you later, Shannon. I'll message you about next month for sure. I'm excited. I haven't been on vacation in years. It's going to be warm there and it's cold here. No, we have not, Aquarius. No, we're not worried about it though, because his last court date is in 2 weeks from Sunday or 2 weeks from Tuesday. So March 20th is going to be his last court date in the Supreme Court. And they have up to 90 days to decide whether they want to resentence him or whether they're going to reverse the appellate court's decision and not resentence him. So by June 20th, we will have a for sure answer on, like at the latest, we'll have a for sure answer on if he's getting resentenced or not, which is pretty surreal and like pretty crazy. Just because we've been working on it for so long. But yeah, I don't know, it's so crazy just because since September, or no, August was when they decided to resentence him. So since August, we've just been like waiting in the winds and waiting for some sort of answer. And they kept continuing it and continuing it. So it's been what, like 6 months? 9, 10, 11, 12, 1, 2, 3. Oh, we're going on like the seventh month. So it's almost 7 months since we found out that he was getting resentenced and then the prosecution decided to appeal it and everything. And it sucks. Yeah, I mean, we've already been waiting. Well, I've been waiting with him for 4 years in May, so it's almost been 4 years. It's crazy. Um, but I mean, there's a good possibility that because they usually, like, if the appellate court unanimously decided to resentence Kevin, they usually don't go against that because it's a really well-known judge too. But I mean, there's always like a slight possibility that something could happen, like with anything. Like I asked him on the phone, can you guarantee that? And he's like, well, no, I can't guarantee that. I said, exactly. So stop acting like you can. They bring him to court every time. No, he hasn't been to court any of those times. The only time that he'll go to court, so in by June, if say they decide, okay, we're going to resentence Kevin, at that point, they will take him from state prison and they'll transfer him to county jail. And then when he's in county, then he'll get a court date. And that'll be to go in front of the resentencing judge. And it's like a 1 day thing. He goes in front of the resentencing judge. They have all the information in front of them, like how old he was, what the crime was, how much time he got, everything that's pertinent to his case, which is all about brain science and about the fact that he was 19 and he got a 28-year sentence. And then that resentencing judge, based on all of that, will decide what they want to do, like whether they want to lower a sentence to 20 years or whether they want to lower it to 15 years or, whatever they're going to do. Um, so yeah. So he won't go to court until that last court date to get resentenced. You're so welcome, Eek. Not a problem. I do it because I really I want to journal it, for our journey that we've gone through, but for anybody else that is in Washington state, anywhere really that's dealing with something similar and say their state hasn't passed anything like this, maybe they can take something from it, start a petition, bring it to their, congressman, senator, governor, whoever, and maybe it can get passed in another state because the whole brain science thing it's going to hit nationwide soon. It's started in California and it's starting to spread in other states slowly, but I guarantee eventually all the states will, it'll be passed in all states because it's science. You can't argue with what something that science is proving, right? Is the brain doesn't develop until, somebody's in their mid 20s, or it could be until they're in their mid 20s, depending on their maturation level and all of that. Indian food generally eaten for breakfast. Interesting. I know. I wish he was in court every time. That would be so awesome. But yeah, no. Nope. Um, what was I gonna say about it though? Yeah, it's been way too long, but I mean, we're really confident that he's going to get resentenced just because the science backs it up. He had a case when he was 16 years old where he was tried as an adult and he had to do 2 years in state prison when he was 16 to 18. And we found out that when they sentenced him to adult prison, they did it incorrectly. So our lawyer is actually trying to get that thrown out or expunged. And once they do that, which we should have that done by the time they resentence him, that's actually going to lower his points even more. So right now he has 5 points. That'll lower his points to 3 points. So that way when he goes back and gets resentenced, they'll look at what his points are and he'll get an even lower sentence based off of his points. So we've pretty much done everything that we could possibly do to get him out as early as we can get him out. And the other thing is that I need to get off here in about 10 minutes. But what was I going to say? Oh, the ACLU. I don't know if you guys know who they are, but they're a huge organization. It's the American Civil Liberties Union. So they fight for the rights of humans in America. So if somebody feels like they are being mistreated, they are the ones that fight for us. Anyway, the ACLU actually wrote a 27-page brief to the Supreme Court specifically for Kevin's case, saying that you guys need to treat this as an individual case, not think of it this is, regarding hundreds of people. You need to focus on the fact that it's for Mr. Lightroth, not for all of these other people. Because I think that's where the prosecutor's going with it, is they're trying to scare the community into being okay, if you resentence him, that means you're going to have to resentence 700 other inmates in Washington state. Yeah, when he goes to county, I'm probably going to visit as much as I possibly can. And I'm definitely going to be there when he gets resentenced. And we're going to try and fill up the courtroom and get up as many people as we possibly can to be there. Um, But for the Supreme Court case that's on March 20th, even though Kevin won't be there and they won't make a decision on that day, it'll be our lawyer gets 20 minutes to give his case. Prosecutor gets 20 minutes to give their case. And there's a lot of women that I've talked to and like friends of Kevin and family members that they say that they're going to be there on the 20th of March. I'm just like showing support of like for him and for the case in general and like what it shows, it's showing everybody that the changes that it's going to make and that sort of thing. So I'm really interested and excited to see how many people are actually going to show up on March 20th. But I already took the day off of work, so I'm super excited. I know my friend Chanel's going because I'm going to pick her up on that day. Summer hopefully can take that day off and she can go with me too. My friend Summer just moved here from Missouri, so. Ooh, I like the spiciness that makes your nose water. I like that. The victim, so Kevin's case was, um, originally they gave him a plea of manslaughter because the kid, he's 19, is the same age as Kevin, he ended up dying. So he didn't take that plea and he took it to trial. And instead of the 9-year plea that he was offered, he got 28 years and he got second-degree murder. So the victim is passed away, unfortunately. But the victim's family, I don't know if they're aware of the fact that Kevin is possibly getting resentenced. I know that they have to be notified. I'm sure they're notified, like if he's being resentenced. So, but I know they're from, I think, New Mexico. Um, so I don't know if they would show up, like his mom, and I don't know if he had any siblings. I don't think he had any siblings, but I'm not positive on that. Um, and I know the co-defendants, um, when Kevin was going through trial, like they spoke against him. There's just a bunch of stuff that it was very wrong, like the way that it happened. A lot of it was not true, which usually happens, right? And there is a lifetime no contact order against like 10 people that were there when it happened. And so my concern was that they would show up to court for the resentencing and be like, we're against this. We don't want this, this is bad, that's better, whatever. But since there's no contact orders against all those people, they cannot show up to court because he's not allowed to be around them. So there's no reason for them to be there because they weren't the victims. They were like co-defendants or they were like there at the time of the crime. So his co-defendant, oh, I guess the victim would just be like his mom or like any family that wanted to appear. Yeah, so they're notified when they're resentenced and they're also notified once they get resentenced. They'll let them know. I think they have to let them know that they're going to be released like 10 days prior to them being released. So I honestly, I don't send my husband any money. Every 4 months, is it every 4 months or every 3 months? They need to pay, they have to get like a new weight card to use the weights and gym and stuff like that. And it's like $10. And so I send him $10 like every 3 or 4 months. And I've tried to buy him shoes. He won't let me do it. He doesn't want DOC to have any more money because they take 50% of whatever's sent in. His mom buys quarterly packages, I know, and I think those cost like between $100 to $150. So she does that quarterly, but he doesn't get money put on his books every month. If he needs money, he'll call his dad. Sometimes his dad will put money on his books for him to help him out. But for the most part, yeah, I pay for the phone. His mom helps with the phone too. So we all kind of like come together, and then sometimes his friends will pay and help with the phone as well because he does, call a few of his friends quite often. That's really good. 150 just for commissary, like she should be doing really well. Yeah, of course. I do the same thing. I just pay for the phone. Like I'm lucky that his family is really active and they have a relationship where they're able to help and that sort of thing. because I wouldn't be able to, I don't think I'd be able to afford, or I'd be able to afford it, but I would just have no money to like help me, put into savings and stuff like that. I'd be pretty broke if I had to pay like 150 plus $200 for phone plus like $30 for stamps or whatever. I'd be pretty broke probably. Yeah, his mom has been there for him like the whole way. Like she's the one person that's always been there for him. So I feel thankful, that he's had that relationship with her through the whole 15 years that he's been in. Yeah, it's hard, Christy. Like it's really expensive. Yeah, we go back and forth. Like we've had it to where we only had one call a day, like when I was like struggling financially more, and I would put like we'd spend $100 every month on the phone, one call every day. And but now, like for the last like a year and a half, 2 years, he's called me like twice a day. So he calls me in the morning before I go to work, when I'm on my way to work, and then he calls me at night before they do lockdown, which is like 9:30 where he's at. So I get to talk to him twice a day, which is really good. But it's $200. I mean, it's expensive, you know? You better go check your phone. All right, you guys, I have to get on here. I can't talk. I've got to get off of here. It's almost 10 o'clock. I have not eaten anything today. I really should force myself to eat, or I'm probably going to be feeling like crap tomorrow. But thank you guys for coming and chatting. I haven't been live on YouTube in a really long time. And I definitely wanted to get on here to show you guys that I'm still active. I'm still on the YouTube channel, even though I hadn't done a video in a really long time. Oh my goodness. Okay. And I need to buy a plane ticket as well. I just got a message on here. So anyway, I love you guys. Thank you for subscribing to this channel. It really means a lot. And if you have any friends that are prison wives, prison husbands, prison boyfriends, or whatnot, let them know about the channel. Um, it's doing really well, and just be looking out for more videos that I'm going to be doing here. I'm probably going to do one either tonight or tomorrow. So, and that's going to be about like arguments, fighting, and like how to deal with it, how not to deal with it, and that kind of thing. So, anyways, I love you guys. Have a good night. All right. Bye.